So hey everyone. So in this video we will discuss about the DDL command. So in the previous video I have discussed the all the DDL command. Okay. Sorry. So in previous video I have discussed all the types of a statement, like I'm giving overview, like DDL statement, DFL statement, and DQL statement, and DCL statement, and a TCL statement. So each statement has some specific use cases. So let's start with the DDL command. So we will go in depth of the DDL command, when we use and how to use the DDL command. Okay. So DDL stands for data definition language, as you know, data definition language definition. Okay. So this statement is used to create the schema of the table, yeah, a structure of the table. Okay, only a structure. This statement is used to create only a structure of the table, yeah, structure of the database. Okay, in database there are 5 tables. In database there are 6 tables. The only you can create a structure. You have not inserted a value. So insertion and updation are not come inside a DDL. Okay. So in DDL you have to create only a structure of the table, a structure. Okay. So let's take up with one example. So like I think you all are use of Instagram, and in Instagram imagine your data is stored in the Instagram database. Okay. So this is a database. Okay. So inside the database there can be multiple table. There can be multiple table, like user table. In the user table they store information about the users, like name, email, username. Okay. And a similar way, in the post table of the Instagram they store the post data, like what you post photos, how many posts, how many likes on your photos. Okay. So these types of data are stored in particular table. Similar way, they store like table. So like table stored all the likes you made and all the likes who made on your post. So these types of store on the like post, like table. Okay. So similar way, they have made the comment table. They have made the reels table. They have made the followers table. Okay. So each table has some specific types of data. Okay. Like user table only store the user table. Okay. So these are the DDL. DDL, inside the DDL you have to create only table. Okay. Only the table. You have to create 6 table. Don't insert any value. Insertion is not come inside the DDL. Okay. So create one database and create table. These are come inside the DDL command. So only define the structure of the table, the structure of the database are come inside the DDL. Let's move to the next topic. So now we will discuss what you learn in the DDL command. So in the DDL command there are lots of topic. I will discuss one by one. So there are the 7 topics. So first we learned how to create a database. So you can create a multiple database as your need, as your business needs. So inside the database you can create the table. So how to create the table, and how to define the structure of the table, and how to change the name of the table, and how to delete the table, and delete the part of the table. These all I have discussed in this video, yeah, and upcoming videos. So first three we will discuss in this video. After that, we will upload one new video on it. So let's discuss how to create database. So there are simple query. When you run this query, they will create the database. So create a database and the name of the database. Okay. So create a database and the name of the database. So create a database is the fixed up to this. This is the fixed. Here you give the name, your name, what you want to create. Okay. So like I have given Instagram database. So this part is fixed. You can see that create database and the name of the database. Okay. And similarly create database and the name of the database a student. And this is create database and the name of the database is college DB. Okay. So now we will discuss this and how to create a database. We will see the practical. So let's see the practical, and you can also open the MySQL workbench and click on it, and they ask for the password. So I have remembered the password and click on this, and it will open the windows where you done the query. Okay. So let's see. So first we see the database available or not. So database. So database is a command. When you run this command, then all the database present in the system they will print. So you can see that by default I have three database present. Okay. So I am giving you like this will list all the database present in your system. Okay. And let's create the first database. So create first database, name is Instagram database. So what is the command? So create database and the name of the database Instagram database. DB stands for database. DATABAS. Okay. So a spelling mistake. So I am going to create the Instagram database, and how you run. So first you select the statement and click on the this one, first one, and click on the execute command, and you can see. So your query is successfully run. And how to see all the database? So there is same command. If you give so database, and when you run this query, then it will print all the database what you created. So you can see that I have created the Instagram database, and the Instagram database is coming into my system. So let's create another database. Create database, and the database is a student database. Okay. So I have given the student database, and when we run this query, then this query is successfully, and let's see again our database is created or not. So you can see that so our database is created successfully. So similar you can create multiple database as you want. So creation of the database just simple. This part is fixed. This part is fixed, and you have to give the name of your database. Okay. And to list the all the database to list all the database. Okay. So to list all the database, you have given the so database. Okay. So let's move to the next topic, how to create a table and how to structure of the table. So let's move to the creation of the table. So I have seen this one. To list all the database, you have to give the show databases, and so to use the particular database there is one query. So if you go inside the particular database, suppose you have created 5 database and you want to go inside the particular database, then there is query use database. Okay, so use database, you can go inside the database and you can create a table inside the database. So and the show table is similar way. So if you want to list all the table inside in the selected database, so this will list all the tables present in your particular database, just like they will list all the database. So similar way they will list all the tables in your selected database. Okay. So let's move to the how to create the structure of the table. So there are basic syntax of creation the structure of the table. So like create table. So so create table is the fixed, and here you can give the name of the table. Okay, so here you can give the name of the table like a student table, college table, what you want to give the name of the table. And parenthesis inside the parenthesis you have put the column name. You have put the column name and their data types and the constraint of the data type. I have taught you constraint in the previous video. So there are 5 types of constraint like not null, primary key, foreign key, check, and these are the constraint. So you can give the constraint of the to the column and data types of the column and the column name. So just to see here. So here create a table is fixed. This part is fixed, and here it give the Instagram user. So Instagram user is our table name. The name of the table is Instagram user. Okay. So this is the column, first column ID. ID is the first column. Name is the second column. Email is the third column. Password is the fourth column. And the created at is the fifth column. And you can see that each column has some data type. Each column has some data type. Okay. So like ID, which type of ID? ID is integer. Name is varchar and give the range, and email is also varchar, password is also varchar. Okay, so and these are the constraint. So id is primary key is one of the constraint I have taught you. Not null is one of the constraint. Unique and not null, this is the combination of two. And there is also not null. So these are the creation of the table. So there are three. You while writing the table you have to mention 3 parts. First is the column name and the data types of the column name and the constraint. Okay, so let's see the practical. And so let's see the practical how to create the table. Yeah, structure of the table. So let's see how many database we have. So we have 3 database, 2 database which I created. So let's I use the Instagram database. So how to use the particular database? How to sorry to use particular database? Yeah, go inside the database. Okay, so there is simple query, use and your name of the database. Okay, so our database is Instagram. So let's I given the use Instagram. This query, when you run this query, then you are go inside the particular database. So now inside the you are inside the Instagram database. Okay, so create the structure of the table. So create struct your structure of the table. Okay, So let's see create table. If you are going to create table, then you have to give the table, create table, and the name of the table. Okay, create a table, and the name of the table is insta user. Okay, insta user is our name of the table, and you put the parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis there are column name. So column name is id. Okay, like you can say the user id. Okay, user id, and the name and the data types of the user id is integer, and I will make the primary key. Okay, I will make the primary key, and so this is the first column, and the data type of the first column is integer, and the constraint is primary key. Okay. So next is the email of the user. Okay, email. So email, and the data type is varchar. Okay, varchar, and the length is up to take I'm 100, and I am giving the constraint is not null. Okay, so email should not be null. Okay, and let's see like unique, unique and not null. Okay, so this should be unique and also not null. Okay, and the third things is okay. So let's see the only not null bit. Okay, and I've given the age is also integer. Okay, integer, and this is also not null. So I'm creating the structure of a table, and here there are three columns. So first column is user ID, and the second column is name, and the fourth column is age. Okay, so let's execute this query. And how to execute? So first you select the statement and click on execute. So this will execute your query, and you can see your creation of the table is successfully. And how to see your table is created or not? So let's so yes, so inside the Instagram you can see that there is one table, and inside the insta user you can say that you have created insta user. Okay, insta user you have created, so insta user is also coming, and now you want to print the table. Okay, so there is query select asterisk. I will teach you what is the asterisk from insta user. Okay, so this will print that table. Okay, so let's execute this query, and you can see that your table has been created, and they have three columns like user id, email, and age. And you cannot put value inside the table in the DDL command. So we will learn how to put the how to put the value, how to insert the value, how to modify the inserted value, and how to delete the particular value. So we will discuss later. So similar way you can create multiple table also. So like we can create table. So let's I am going to wait, just wait. Yes, so I am moving down. Okay, no problem. So I'm giving a student name, a student, and here so here you can give a student ID, and data type is integer, and it is also primary key. Okay, and let a student name, and then varchar. Okay, and varchar is 100, and the this is not null. Okay, and a student email, and it is also varchar, and the length of the handed, and it is also not null. And you can give age of a student, a stud age, and it is also integer, and the it is also not null. Okay, so you can give this is not mandatory to give all the constraint. So if you want the particular column should be constraint, so you can give the constraint. So I have given the student ID first column, and the student name, and the student email and age. So you can see that there are three particular sections. So give the column name, give the data types, and give the constraint. And when you run this query, the table will be created. Okay, so inside the Instagram database, two table will be created. You can see that. So inside that Instagram database, you can see inside the Instagram database, there is table section. Inside the table, you can see there are two table has been created. Okay. So how to see this table? So select asterisk from the table name. The table name is a student. Okay. So give the student, and so you can see a student ID, a student name, and a student email and age has been created. So you can create multiple table inside the particular database. Like inside the Instagram database, I have created two table. You can create as many as table inside one particular database. Okay. So thank you. Keep watching, and we will upload the new video.